Thank you, Amy. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you can do roll call for me.
Yes, good evening. Commissioner Woolham,
Present.
Commissioner Webster,
Present.
Commissioner Byers,
Present.
Commissioner Fox,
Present.
Commissioner Admin may join the meeting later. Chief Allen.
Here.
And we don't not have legal representation, and Board Secretary Amy Oakley.
Thank you, Amy. Did you have any public comment that was written in or sent to you before the meeting?
No, but I have not checked in the last hour, so I will check, but we do have one hand raised on Zoom.
Is that Mr. Marin? I'm trying to catch everything here. Okay, Mr. Marin, you have 3 minutes. You're on mute still.
There we go. There we go. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. The board is moving forward with preparing a ballot measure to create a Shoreline Fire Department, North Shore Fire Department RFA. My concern is that the boards of commissioners are creating the RFA structure without real public input. You have already made the most important decision, according to your last meetings, to retain the existing governance model, a model that is dominated by the firefighter interests. It is wholly inappropriate to make this decision before and without real public input. I encourage the Board of Commissioners, both Shoreline and North Shore, and the RFA committee members to adopt an RFA governance model similar to the Eastside Fire Authority. This model guarantees citizens have a real influence in the fire department governance. It is inappropriate, in my view, to have firefighters in charge of the firefighter union, the firefighter administration, the fire department administration, and the fire department governance. This model lacks any real checks and balances. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there any other public comments?
There are no public comments submitted prior to this meeting.
Thank you. And I see that Mr. Paxton has joined us.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, so we're moving on to the approval of the agenda.
I make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Board discussion and possible action items. Report from subcommittee station 54.
You go ahead. You're
So I do have an update from Chief Hochstein that the demo is scheduled for July 18th through 20th. All permits have been obtained and the utilities have been disconnected.
Thank you. Report from the RFA Planning Committee.
I can get that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So we got a detailed presentation from Chief Callan on the potential finances of an RFA organization joining the finances of both North Shore and Shoreline. And it looks very positive, cost neutral to the potential of some modest savings. And with the then potential of some more significant savings if we were to look at adjusting the left one accounts and the model for those savings accounts. We decided at that time that we needed more time to discuss and get feedback from other organizations in the way that they structure their left one liabilities, and So we'll have more on that at the next meeting. I would also note that the way that we've decided to structure the governance model gives the citizens of Lake Forest Park and Kenmore and Shoreline the most influence and say in the governance of the board. They have 5 members from North Shore representing Kenmore and Lake Forest Park and 5 from Shoreline. So to suggest that we're somehow cutting the citizens out is actually the opposite of what is happening. We're giving the citizens the most voice in how this is structured as possible. So, any chief or Commissioner Webster, anything to add?
No, I think you hit it really well. One of the other possible savings will be if this goes together that combining our retention, some of our funds can add additional savings for our 2 departments when it comes together.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Thank you, commissioners. Is there any questions on that? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to discussion for next steps of August levy lid lift ballot measure.
Well, I'll take that one. So I've reached out to both Lake Forest Park and Kenmore to address the city councils. And I have those scheduled for later this week and next week. There's FAQs and so forth on the website. I reached out to the pro committee to find out if they were gonna do anything on their end as far as, you know, campaign or whatever. And they have not made a decision, or they haven't given me any feedback on that. That's pretty much it at this point. But it is coming up quickly. So.
Commissioners, any questions?
We're not allowed to advertise or anything. Is that correct? How that works?
I try to stay really neutral on these things. The only message that I push out is please get out and vote.
Okay.
You know, or to answer questions that are factual about, you know, the pros, cons, you know, the nature of the lid and so forth. Things that are like that are in the FAQ that are on the website. I really try to not get involved because it's just, it can be a slippery slope to something that's not, that's inappropriate.
Chief, have we gotten any feedback on the FAQs on the website? Questions, comments? Input?
Is there a space where they can, you know, is it emailed to you or for questions? Do we have that in there?
I will double check on that. I know I put that together. I want to talk about that when we get to the RFA thing. Actually, I should have asked about that at the last agenda item. On the lid lift, we have the FAQ. I can't remember if I put, you know, contact me if you have any questions, but I did get a question that came up through Lake Forest, the crier. And it didn't have to do with our website or the FAQ, had to do with the explanatory statement, and they were like, I don't understand how this is, you know, how it's not gonna raise money, because on the explanatory statement, it said that it's not gonna raise revenues by that much, and they were saying over the last 20 years, you know, it had to do with the question had to do with the levy rate has gone down, but this person's taxes had gone up over the last 20 years. And so I responded back to that in-person individually, and it came through the paper. So I also responded to the paper, and they said that they were going to put a story out there that addressed, because it might have been a letter to the editor or a question that was asked. I couldn't find it online at the time, or on the paper at the time. But I will add a you know, email me just like I did for the RFA FAQ.
I agree that sometimes it's hard to explain that we have the benefit charge and the taxes, and that one levels out the other.
Yeah.
And so.
And I can certainly send you the response I gave to her, which kind of detailed out that over the last 20 years ago that there was a lid lift. And ever since then, the levy rate, because of AV growth, and 1% cap on the revenue side, the levy rate has been pushed down, ever since. And we've had an increase in the fire benefit charge, to take care of costs that have run from anywhere from a couple of percent to 6 or 7%. And that's what all fire districts do with the fire benefit charge. And we've gotten to that point where that fire benefit charge is now pushing up against the 60%. And it's not that we want a bigger pie, we just want to slice it up different. I actually put that in my response. It was like, so it's like, we're not trying to make a bigger pie necessarily. I can't guarantee that until I know what the CPI is, in FTE for next year. But we're not. This isn't a money grab. This isn't a way of increasing revenues dramatically or anything like that. It's just rebalancing and diversifying our revenue streams better. And it just. Unfortunately, the timing isn't great because we're talking about an RFA next year and, and everything else, but this was known for many, like the last decade, it's been talked about here in North Shore, with staff here, that this was coming, it's in front of us. I'll send you guys the response.
Thank you.
That I sent. So.
Commissioner Byers, did you have any questions for the chief?
I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to a discussion on updating the financial policy.
I think that was Eric.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Maybe Matt has a thing.
Yeah, I believe this was related to the changes that I discussed a few months ago in the competitive bidding laws. The chief and I have, I don't think I followed up, but we've been discussing how to implement that because Shoreline shares, well, North Shore shares its policy with Shoreline. I had planned on letting the chief really take the lead there, but we don't have anything to present, I don't think, at this meeting.
do we want to keep it on?
Thank you.
Do we need to keep that on for future meetings?
Yeah, this kind of dropped off my radar for some reason. I was thinking that Dawn or somebody else within Shoreline was going to work on it. So I will circle back with you, Matt, and probably put you, or maybe I'll include Dawn or Rachel, in that conversation too.
Okay, moving on, board resolutions, we have none. Now onto the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Fire chief report. Chief, did you have
I do have
anything
a
to
couple of-
add?
I have a couple of things to add, but first, is there any questions?
No, but I really appreciated your update on the fireworks since we had that citizen questions regarding that. So I don't know if that's something we are allowed to post, but I think it would be great to post on the website just for general information.
Are you talking about the NORCOM data that is sent you all?
Correct.
We can put that out there. I think that's public knowledge. It's just call staff. It doesn't have anybody's address or anything like that. So it was actually overall, it was not a terrible 4th of July for calls. There's a couple of bigger calls, but nothing really substantial. The two things, I'll add a couple of things, and I meant to add it when we were talking about the RFA, but I sent out an email to the RFA planning committee about the FAQ. So Tyler and Rick, did you get a chance to look at the FAQ? Are you guys okay for me posting that?
I thought it was acceptable, yeah. I had a couple of comments, but of course I didn't bring it with me at all. I will
shoot it. I think it's something Brian Stir about cleaning up some of the language and stuff like that. So maybe I'll resend it out because it might address all the.
Exactly. It was kind of, there was a couple convoluted things that we can take them off if it was not cleaned up.
Well, he had more grammar things than.
Well, it kind of
Okay.
Yeah, so we're good. We'll see.
Okay, so then the other two updates I had was, we sent out a request to 5 vendors from MRSC on the 57 generator replacement and the Station 51 generator fuel tank replacement or upgrade. The proposals are due later this month on the 19th. And a couple of sites that have been conducted, so hopefully we'll get a couple of bids. It's tough getting even bids
Are they
nowadays.
in that dollar amount where we don't have to go out for a major?
Well, we're using MRSC, so it should be under the threshold,
That's what I was.
so, so we should be okay. That was it for our update, unless there's questions.
That repair to the generator or replacement?
But the generator is a replacement.
At
57. Here is a gas tank upgrade. So it's kind of a replacement, it's getting replaced.
fuel tank.
Yeah, fuel.
Like that. So
Thank you, fuel tank, this is not gas.
Okay. Anything else, chief?
No, that's it.
Okay. Are there any commissioner reports?
I think so. No, we've covered.
Okay. Legal counsel report, Mr. Paxton?
Yeah, I guess I was reflecting a little bit about the times I came down to your meetings in person, and I remember seeing the training tower that you guys have back there, and obviously you have the training consortium that you work with. And I was reflecting recently with a colleague about just some anecdotal evidence or anecdotal stories we've been told about training facilities, and it seems that in our employment practice, more than a few of our complaints arise out of training facilities. And it just kind of stuck out to us of like that being an area of to watch. And I wanted to communicate that to you guys, just not because I've heard anything about the district. It's really just I think all of my clients could use a little bit of a reminder, especially those that run training facilities, because sometimes the employees are not as carefully managed there, or there's an overlap in management, right? Two different agencies working together can have different cultural interrelations. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Nothing specific again to the district. I just have observed that in the last year or two. That's my legal report.
Thank you. Okay. Amy, can you go over setting a future meeting?
Yeah, so the next regular meeting will be Tuesday, August 6th at 5 p.m. It'll include standard agenda items, which includes a subcommittee report on Station 54, a subcommittee report on the RFA committee, status of the levy lid lift. Actually, is that the day of the day of the election? Is August 6th. And then we're keeping on the agenda to discuss the financial policy for contract bidding.
Bidding, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, did anyone else have any questions?
Just as
I noticed,
as a
Oh,
note,
go ahead.
for Commissioner Webster, we our next RFA meeting is next month. Yeah, it's Station 51 at 5 p.m. So just put that out there.
okay, and I did notice we have Union President Doug Lozier. I didn't know, Mr. Lozier, if you had anything you wanted to share with us at this time?
Nothing to share at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting then.
Thanks.